one paw. Stonehide felt the claws drag through his fur harmlessly, unable to penetrate. He was knocked over, but he rolled and came back in one smooth movement, screaming, his teeth bared. The lion's roar faltered as Stonehide sank them into its other foreleg. He didn't hold on tight, though he could have. Just a little nip, drawing a gout of blood, making the lion twitch and stumble to show this upstart creature whose territory he stood on. This one was young. It probably hadn't met one of his kind before. Most lions will mess with you only once, his father had said, if you teach them a lesson the first time. No easy pickings here, Stonehide spat, the lion's blood warm on his muzzle. Get lost! The lion backed away, limping. What are you anyway? He gasped. Just as he'd thought, a novice plumped up with false confidence. I'm your worst nightmare. Stonehide grinned. He lunged again, just a feint, but it did the job. The lion gave a startled cry and turned to flee, limping and looking over its shoulder to make sure he wasn't following. Except there was a look on the creature's face now that wasn't fear or confusion. It looked smug. Humbled, but knowing. Stonehide was already turning when he heard Silvertail's cry. It was achingly far away, among the trees where he'd been going to get bedding for their new home. He was already running when he saw the blood at the mouth of the cave and the claw marks in the dirt, the trail leading to the trees. Just beyond them, he could hear Silvertail hissing and spitting, screaming out furious curses. It had been a trick. A distraction. She was giving them a fight, that much was certain. Growls and her own defiant cries intermingled. If he could get to her, it would be all right. He'd fight until his last breath. He was still several paces from the trees when the sound stopped. Silence filled the world. The distance seemed to stretch out endlessly in front of him, but inevitably he reached the trees and the sight of two lions spattered with blood. They each had deep scratches and bites on their legs, a coating of blood dripping from their muzzles as they looked up from the unmoving shape of Silvertail. Stonehide's fur stood on end, and he dug his claws into the earth, his sides swelling as he took a breath, ready to scream and leap at the lions. He would drive his grief into their eyes with his claws. But 3 more lion shapes loomed behind these two, one much bigger and one small and scrawny, limping a little as it let out an evil chuckle. Easy pickings, the lion said. 1. Flicker's scent was dusky and sweet, like the wind in the grass when the pollen was rising. Stride's heart soared the moment he smelled it, before he had even opened his eyes. He rolled over, yawning and tasting the air. On his back, his belly exposed and paws tucked up playfully around his muzzle, he blinked open his eyes and gazed up at his mate. Her eyes reflected the light of the stars overhead, and he felt the tickle of her breath as she leaned in and licked his ear. You are about the laziest cheetah I've ever met, she said. Yet somehow still the fastest, Stride boasted automatically. And the most arrogant. That too, perhaps. In reality, he knew that she matched him for speed, and perhaps there were other cheetahs outside Bravelands who could give him a fair race. But he wouldn't admit it. Who needed reality anyway? In reality... Flicker's eyes were full of stars, but her pelt shifted and blurred. Her beautiful spots were faint, her colors muted. You're... Stride swallowed the word, dead. What if saying it aloud made it true all over again? You're a spirit, he said instead. She blinked, and when she did, all the stars in the sky seemed to go out, just for a moment. Yes, she said. I will be with the stars soon, but I'll always be able to...